Somewhere on Earth is off to Malawi in southern Africa. This little-known country, overshadowed by its larger neighbors, Mozambique, Tanzania, and Zambia, is one of the poorest places on Earth. Malawi, a land of plains and highlands, is also home to an immense lake that covers 20% of its territory. Gaspar, 27 years old, is the proud owner of an amazing one-of-a-kind guitar. He earns his living thanks to his instrument and his passion for music. Now, after 11 years on the road, he's on his way back to his native village. Freddie's realm is the sky. This young Dane grew up in Tanzania and learned how to fly in South Africa. Freddie, always ready for adventure, loves Africa and is now a full-fledged bush pilot. Teresa, a determined young woman, is a champion runner. Year after year, she has won one of the sport's most challenging events, an extreme half marathon up the slopes of Mount Mulanje, Malawi's highest mountain.
Running is my life. If I'm sick, I run and I feel better. When I have an attack of malaria, I run and it just goes away. Running is my medicine.
Gaspar is a musician, and despite the hardships in Malawi, he has managed to live his life to the upbeat tune of his music. This trip is a return to his roots. When his brother died 12 years ago, it changed his life. He decided to leave everything behind and let his music take him where it would, as a way of exorcising the sudden tragedy that struck his brother. Gaspar's story is also the story of a land whose musical heritage goes as deep as its people's roots.
I always travel with my guitar. I meet a lot of people on the road. When I play, it makes people happy. People love to dance here. I'm on my way back to my native village. I'm traveling from Nkata Bay on the lake. That's where I've been living for the past 11 years. I'm going home. I'm going to see my family and friends.
Traveling in Malawi means walking in an African land where time, smothered by the heat, slows to a crawl. This country is situated at the southern tip of the Great African Rift Valley. In the local dialect, Malawi evokes sunlight sparkling on the surface of the water and the glimmer of flames. The immense lake of the same name covers a fifth of the country, making this reservoir of fresh water Africa's third largest lake.
Are you ready to dance? I'm the man with the sounds. I'm going to say hello to the elders. Then later we'll get down to the business of dancing. Come on, kids. This always happens when I come into a village. First, the children tag along with me, then, little by little, the adults gather around. The people here love music. Hello. How you doing? I'm just doing a little publicity while waiting for the sunset. I've come along with my guitar, and it's going to get very lively here. I play and the villagers give me some money. That's how I make my living. First, I sing for free, and then if you want me to keep going, you have to give me some money. It's my sole means of support. The string's dead. I have to change it. The sound will be better. It's a very simple instrument. It takes me 5 minutes to get ready. I can even do it in 2 minutes.
Now it's okay. Ndamaliza.
Out in the bush or on the shores of the lake, there are very few leisure activities here. So whenever Gaspar comes around, it's an event. He has the gift of communicating his love of music, his energy and passion. No need to warm up the house. As soon as he starts playing, the whole village comes under the spell of his music. Despite the extreme hardship, a smile and a warm welcome are sacred, and a jibe at the grinding poverty. Another reason why Malawi is also known as the warm heart of Africa.
The people here earn their living from the lake, but the only way I can make money is with my guitar. As the fishing is not very good right now, they can't pay me. We're all in the same boat. If they don't catch any fish, they don't pay me, and me, I can't buy anything. Not even soap to wash. It's a vicious circle.
In southern Africa, Malawi is the land of the lake. This lake, an ocean of fresh water, is where Gaspar lives. Gaspar designed his first traditional guitar with his brother, who passed away suddenly. So before making the trip back home to his village, he puts together a new instrument: an old oil drum, zebu hide, electric wire, and a piece of wood.
The idea of this guitar just came to me. It's a gift from God. Nobody ever taught me. It all comes from me. I'm not copying anyone. When I was younger, I traveled a lot between Blantyre and Lilongwe. One day, my brother had a revelation. He decided to make a 4-string guitar, an acoustic guitar. So I said to him, here's what we're going to do. We have to make a babaton, an instrument something like this one. And we found a third person to make up a band. So we started playing, and little by little, people got to like our music. My brother and I would go from one village to the next. That's how it all began. I'm getting back on the road. Hi. You have some room for me and my guitar?
Thanks to his music, Gaspar has managed to make a name for himself in Malawi. But that's not the most important thing for him. Gaspar's music is a way of celebrating life and keeping alive the memory of his brother who passed away at an age when one's adolescent dreams are still taking shape. The central region of the country, the highlands, not far from the Zambian border. This is where Gaspar grew up.
I miss all the people of my village, and I hope they'll be glad to see me. It's been such a long time. I left in 2002. There used to be houses here. They must have collapsed. A lot has happened in 11 years. Things have changed here.
Gaspar sees his daughter, Ines. He sent her to this village here 2 years ago so that she could be raised by his family.
Ines, how are you? Do you remember me?
Gaspar's older brother, Tobias, is one of the first to welcome him home. They quickly get over their initial nervousness, and in a few minutes, the entire village is there to greet the musician.
Ines is my first child. She lives in the village here with her grandmother. I love my daughter. I'd like her to come with me where I'm living now. I wish it were possible today. She's my first child, and my last. The people are glad to see me, and I'm glad to finally be back. Some of them have aged. They may have forgotten me, but I haven't forgotten them. You don't forget your roots. There's a saying here. The snake always finds its way back to the bush.
In accordance with tradition, the elders of Gaspar's clan accompany him to the village cemetery. They're going to visit the grave of Ukali, Gaspar's younger brother.
I'm your brother. I've come to pay you a visit, Ukali. Maybe you thought that when I left the village I had forgotten you, but you've always been there deep in my heart, because all my talent comes from you, Ukali. There's still sadness in my heart. I say goodbye now, but I too will end up here. I'm only passing through on this earth. We come from dust, and to dust we shall return. I have air in my lungs now, but I will go back to the earth. That's what I wanted to tell you. When Gaspar came back to the village, he realized that a lot of things had changed, and so have I. When he left, there was only one village here. Now there are 8. As for me, I've become the chief of Nyarambi, our village. My heart is filled with joy. I'm just so happy that my little brother is here. It's a miracle. We can thank God. Really.
Gaspar is my brother-in-law. We're glad he's come back, because he'll liven up the village. We'll dance with all our heart. We love dancing here. It's a great day, and it calls for a celebration.
Recharged by the energy drawn from his roots, Gaspar can take to the road once again. He has chosen the path of music, the beating heart of Malawi. Freddie could be a pilot 8,000 kilometers from here in his homeland, Denmark, but he has chosen to fly the skies of Africa.
I think flying is the best way to travel anywhere, not just in Africa, but as you say, the roads are very bad in Malawi. It can take 10, 12 hours to get somewhere, where it takes 2 hours to get in a plane. So that's what I do. I bring people from A to B quickly and efficiently and safely. I've always had an attachment to Africa since I was 4 years old. My parents used to live in Africa, so I sort of was brought up in, I lived 4 years in Tanzania. In South Africa, I did my training, then I came here. I don't know, it's exciting. It's always, every day is an adventure, you know?
Can be a little hard to see, but this is an aeronautical map of Malawi. Malawi is this part here. This is Lilongwe, the Time area. And what we're basically doing is flying from Lilongwe down to Monkey Bay, which is just there. And that's where the hospital is that we're going to visit today. So it should be approximately 40 minutes flying, and then we'll come over the lake. And then from the lake, we'll go around Cape Maclear, and we'll land from the north overhead the lake. So should be a very nice flight. Now it's getting bumpy. We're coming over the hills here, so I better put this map away so I can fly the plane. Traffic 118.1, this is 7 Quebec, Papa Foxtrot Uniform Cessna 210 from Lilongwe to Monkey Bay. We're currently approaching Cape Maclear from the northwest, descending through 3,500 feet. We'll be doing a precautionary inspection of the field and doing a left circuits land 01. We just fly over so they go away, you know, so the runway will be clear when we get back, I hope.
Monkey Bay is a small, isolated town on the south shore of Lake Malawi. Its airstrip is used more as a playground by the children than for landing airplanes.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? Fine. My name is Freddie.
Yeah, I'm Bosco.
Nice to meet you. Here's some medicine. We have some soap here as well. One. Maybe you can just check, see what is inside. The big one here, maybe. We have anti-malarial. We have.
There are drugs.
Yeah, I'm sure you.
Paracetamol.
I'm sure you'll find use for all this, eh?
Yeah, they're very important ones.
Every day is new. You go to different places. If you're an airline pilot in Europe, you always know your schedule 1 month before. Here, I don't know what I'm doing the next day, you know? Sometimes we're flying businessmen, sometimes tourists, sometimes we're flying people who are sick, sometimes we fly medicine, sometimes we fly school supplies, many different things. That's what I think makes it fun. There's so many kids around, you know, so you have to be very careful because they don't understand the danger with the propeller, you know. So they think it's all funny and now they're standing there laughing, but when you start up and you taxi and take off, then they'll start running, you'll see. Everyone away!
There are only about 20 planes like this one in Malawi. Here, more than anywhere else, the sky is a realm of freedom that belongs only to those who venture there.
It has its challenges, like the weather is probably the main one. The rainy season is from end of November to about April, and it can be, especially in small single engines like this, it can be quite hard because of we can't go as high as the turboprops, so we have to weave our way through the clouds, thunderstorms, high winds, torrential rain. So that's what makes it exciting and challenging at the same time.
The airplane is perfect for crossing the lake, but the locals can't do without their boats. This passenger cargo ferry calls at the major cities on the lake. The Ilala has been doing regular runs between Malawi and Mozambique since 1955. This boat is the emblem of the country. It's early morning, and there's a stiff breeze on the lake. The boat's captain is worried. At any moment, the Ilala could rip away the landing dock.
The problem's not the wind. I'm more afraid that the boat could tear everything apart. The cables are stretched too tight, especially the short one there. It's really dangerous. We could definitely have problems.
The captain decides to cast off 2 hours ahead of schedule. It's too bad for the passengers who missed the boat. They'll have to wait a week for the next one. Up in the sky, the weather is hardly any better. Freddie is heading towards the north of the country. He's aiming to land on the Chalinda airstrip in the heart of the Nika National Park up in Malawi's highlands, the most difficult place to access in the country.
Okay, so we're going to start our descent now into Chalinda, and we'll be leaving 10,500, and we should be on the ground in approximately 10 minutes. And yeah, we should be able to see the plateau below us, weather permitting, anytime soon. You can see the plateau through there, over there.
Landing could be very tricky in these conditions. Freddie is trying to spot the airstrip.
It's always the pilot's decision whether he wants to fly or not. You make your own decision, and you use your own judgment call, and you just use your common sense to make the right decision regarding the weather. This is the life of the bush pilots. It's brisk, windy, weather was bad, but luckily we made it, huh? And now we're just going to pack up the plane, and then we're going to make our way down to the camp, I think, and see what's going on.
The park rangers are waiting for the pilot in order to carry out a surveillance flight.
Morning, how are you doing?
Nika is the country's oldest natural reserve, a protected area since 1964.
Sure.
This section here is the Nika Zambian National Park.
Okay.
We have officers also there,
Sure.
Zambian officers.
So the headquarters of the Rangers is here in Chalinda.
Here.
And have you had any bad instances of poaching recently?
It's actually we had about 10 poachers came through from the eastern side.
What kind of animals were they poaching?
Basically, they go for the big Irans
Okay.
and the roan.
All right.
Yes. And orchids. At the moment, I think we do also have a problem of orchid poaching.
Orchids, like
Yeah.
the flower.
Yes.
So let's hope for the weather to clear up, and maybe we can be on our way. What do you think about that?
That would be beautiful.
The Nika National Park is situated between 2,000 and 2,600 meters above sea level. It was discovered by Scottish missionaries in 1890, who came here to flee the malaria epidemics. That was the beginning of British colonization in this region of Africa.
We were hoping that it was going to clear up overnight, but unfortunately it looks like it's even worse now. You can see the fog has rolled in. Maybe visibility is 50 meters, and I need at least 2 kilometers to be able to take off. So as of now, we're grounded. So we're just making sure the plane is ready to go when the weather clears. So you really have to be very careful. Yeah, I think safety is paramount up here for sure.
Nika is the country's largest wilderness area, a haven of nature, silent and unspoiled. Over 400 different animal species have been recorded here, among which the plains zebra and the large roan antelope. It also has one of the largest populations of leopards in southern Africa.
You're working in the morning, and in the afternoon you're on a game drive. I don't think many people get to do that, so it's nice. It's one of my favorite places. I don't get to go here as often as I want. If I could choose, I'd be here every week, but that also makes it special. You only come here now and again, not all the time. So we're in the middle of nowhere here. Although we're close to civilization, if you think about it, you fly for 1.5 hours and you're in the biggest city in Malawi, but up here you feel alone. It's 3,100 square kilometers of wilderness and only animals, no one else around really. So it's nice to get out of the city and have a break,
The fog has finally lifted. Freddie and Paston will be able to make their surveillance flight over the park.
In many ways, a buzzard soaring above is the ultimate form of flying, without engines. But that said, birds can be very dangerous as well for pilots, especially buzzards like that. They weigh 4 or 5 kg, If you get one of them through the front windshield, you can crash easily. So you always have to remember you are flying in Africa where there are wild animals and things can go from good to bad very quickly if you're not 100% focused.
Hello, class. How are you? We are fine, and you, sir? I'm fine. Sit down.
How are you? We brought you some supplies.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a heavy box.
Maybe we should put them down.
Okay.
So we have some pens, some pencils, and some notebooks for the kids.
All right, that would be very
It's not so much, but I hope it's just a little token gesture.
It's very difficult as we have a lot of kids that are coming from poor families, impoverished. Some are orphans, some don't have a father or a mother. So usually we have to provide books for them and at least feed them once a day.
Keeping the surrounding clean. All right. Dusty, all right? That is one way. Another point. Very good. Picking up litter.
Africa offers a lot of possibilities with pilots that you don't get anywhere else, but you also have to be committed to it. You can't just say, oh, I go 6 months. You have to do it for a while, and then you'll have the opportunity to build a lot of hours, but you will never get rich. That's just the way it is, but it's good fun.
Freddie feels right at home in Malawi, this wide open country with such a big heart, and he's not about to leave it. Teresa is a champion, one of her country's top athletes. She runs with determination in pursuit of her dreams of victory, medals, and a better life.
Sometimes when I run, I reach a state when I don't feel anything anymore. I surpass the pain, I surpass myself, my body relaxes. When I'm training, I think of other athletes all over the world. I try to imagine the way they run. I try to do the same thing. I copy them.
Teresa trains 3 times a week here at the foot of Mount Mulanje, the emblematic mountain of Malawi. At 3,000 meters, it is the country's highest mountain.
Running is my life. If I'm sick, I run and I feel better. When I have an attack of malaria, I run and it just goes away. Running is my medicine. My name is Teresa Master. I started running when I was 12, so I've been running for 13 years now. I'm one of the women who wear the colors of Malawi. I run so that people can know my country better, and I would like to run in international meets. My dream is to take part in the Olympic Games.
It's market day in Mulanje, the country's southernmost city.
I live in Tembela, a village near Mulanji. When I finish running, I come home to take care of my family. I'm married and have a child. My daughter goes to the daycare center. When I'm not running, I take care of the house. I do the housework like all the other women. I tend the garden, do the washing, I take care of my child, I do the cooking.
Living in such poverty, one must stick together and fight for survival. So Teresa and her husband Felix have founded a little track club. They named it Sapitwa, after Moulange's highest peak. Every year they run in the Porter's Race, an extreme trail race of 25 kilometers. Teresa has won this event 8 times. In spite of her numerous victories, she and Felix earn a very modest living, a few euros a month.
Let me tell you our story. Teresa Master and I met here at the track club. I asked her if she wanted to be my girl. She said yes, and we got married. We run with our club. For us, running is our profession now. We don't have any other job. Teresa and I take things very seriously. We run in order to earn our living.
Our club is becoming more and more well known, and a lot of people come offering us help. It's very encouraging, and it gives us hope. When people come, I tell them we need shoes, we need clothes. We thank them for their help.
Teresa, 25 years old, would love to become Malawi's #1 marathon runner, so she trains relentlessly. Thanks to running, she can keep her dreams alive and better her everyday life. Here, close to half the population is under 16. It's as if the young athlete were carrying all the hopes of the youth that dreams of outwitting fate in this country where 3 out of 4 people live on less than €1 a day.
Easy. Go easy. Take a break. Let me know when you've caught your breath. This is a good workout. It's not hard for her. She's used to it. She has to rest now. Then we'll work on speed. The marathon is very difficult. It's a long distance for Teresa. So we're training for her to be able to go the distance.
Ya, choncho. Yendo yosikanga tukuyonjezera choncho.
Okay, now your arms.
Mikono yo. Chita mikono yo.
Go on, use your arms.
Izimasuka
Loosen up.
mikono yo. Izimasuka.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Medium pace. Ya. Mikono izimasuka kwambiri. Basi jibwizo.
People think that when you're married, when you have a child, you can't run or compete. That's why I like it when she runs well, to prove to those people who think like that they're wrong. You have to surprise people. She's my wife and I love her. I'm very proud of her.
Felix is my coach and my husband at the same time. But I really prefer the husband. The two of us make a good team. We get along well. I love him.
Felix, who is also a marathoner, takes good care of his champion. He encourages her to attain her goals. Since they've decided to found a family, Teresa and Felix are motivated by the same desires. And for some time now, life has been treating them well. For Teresa, running has given meaning to life, and she still hasn't reached her limits. Her quest as a long-distance runner is far from over. Once a year, the Porter's Race takes place on these twisting mountain trails.
I used to live at the foot of the mountain. When I was a child, I used to come here to gather wood. I would scamper all over the place. That's how I got into training. At first, I would run with my girlfriends. And that's how I got into running seriously. In my first race up Mount Mulanje, I finished 6th. I was 12 years old. The next time I came in 3rd, then 2nd, and eventually I came in 1st. Now I win the race every year.
This mountain, called the Island in the Sky, is also the home of legends. They say that a bizarre creature, half man, half monster, lives up on the summit. Anyone that looks into its eyes disappears forever. Teresa has never gone all the way to the top of Mulanje.
I want to keep making progress and go far, to participate in the Olympic Games and, why not, come away with a gold medal. It would be very important for Malawi, which has never won a single Olympic medal. If I could manage to do that, it would put my country on the map. And I would be very proud of that.
Someday, in Malawi, they may recount the legend of Teresa Master, a determined young woman who dreamed of running the world over.